So welcome everybody to the next Drive Time live video call. I'm delighted to welcome a good friend of mine, Paul Coltman, to the show. Paul, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, going stir crazy, but yeah. How about you?
Tell me about it.
Top man, top man. Now, Paul, I know you quite well. We work very closely together, but not everybody does. So, Paul Coltman, how are you involved in motorsport?
So I work for a company called ASGUK. I say I work for, it is my company.
I was going to say, yeah.
I am ASGUK, although my wife might have other views. It's we work within motorsport as a profiling company, so we help anyone from any sport, not just motorsport, but we help them to find their place, raise their profile, and in turn, as a byproduct, increase their commercial viability. Pick up sponsors that's everyone's goal. Everyone wants to be a sponsored athlete, whether it's your local garage or a blue chip company. Everyone wants to have a free drive. So yeah.
Brilliant, fantastic. So you work with, say, a number of club races, a bit like we do actually at my supercar. We actually work quite closely together, don't we? So,
Yes.
So how would you help someone? Let's say I'm a club racer. I need to raise my profile. I get in touch with you. What happens next?
So what we would initially do is obviously have a look at what you're already using. What platforms are you using? Websites, social media. Are you working with people like yourselves at My Supercar to reach out to wider audiences at your event? And try to show them the potential that there is out there. Now, we do that on two levels.
Yeah.
We have our free package where we can just advise people. We can give them some additional publicity through what we do by sharing their news, their updates, their results and stuff across our social media, just to try and give them an extra avenue to reach out and find sponsors. Or we can manage their profile for them. And that's where we take over an element of running their social media, an element of their marketing, their media and their PR to help them be the biggest profile that they can be at the level in which they are competing. Now, we know there's lots of mouths to feed. We know that a British touring car team is going to be in a much stronger position potentially than your local club racer. But motorsport, although it's club racing, is still national. We don't have the luxury in motorsport to have 5 racetracks in one county. So even club racing is national. So there's a national audience for everyone. And it's just making sure that everyone maximizes that national and international audience in some cases, especially because of the internet. And that's what we do. And that's available to everyone. Like I said, the free package is there for everyone to use.
Yep.
If someone wants to take it to the next level, then they can, and they can look at our pay package.
So how on earth, Paul, did you get involved in all this? Has it been a lifelong thing, or is it?
So I'm an ex-motocrosser. For my sins, I raced on 2 wheels off-road for best part of 20 odd years. With a number of injuries and incidents and scenarios, took me right through from sort of grassroots club racing right through to internationals. And the company ASG was created straight out the back of it, really, because as most racers, money gets to a point where it's more important than talent.
Yeah.
And we got to that stage, and bank of mom and dad run dry, and the sponsors I had could only support to a certain level. Then coupled with a few injuries and life moving on and all of those bits and pieces, my career just sort of petered out. But I was working with some great young athletes, and I was helping them with their sponsorship and their careers. And 5 athletes turned to 50, and 50 turned to 500, and 17 years later we've got over 8,500 from 190 different sports. Blimey. So yeah, that was it, really.
You know what you're doing then.
It's snowballed. to some extent fairly quickly, but we do what we can do, and all we're trying to do is help.
Do you still dabble with your bike nowadays?
I probably ride 4 times a year. It's just enough to it's just enough to sort of get rid of the desire to want to go and race again for some unknown reason. But it's I'm way too fat and unfit to do that now.
Never. I don't want to hear talk like that. No.
Just looking at a bike brings me out in a cold sweat, let alone throwing my leg over it.
So talking of that, then let's get on to this. We're having a bit. We all want to have a bit of a laugh at your expense, Paul. So
of course, everyone does. I'm used to it. These shoulders are broad for a reason.
You must have had 1 or 2 embarrassing moments during your biking career. Then come on. Tell us a few embarrassing stories.
There's way too many to tell. I have to say, there's one story that sticks in my mind. And that was the first time I broke my leg. It was I was 9, I would say, in my last year on a 60. It was the youngest age group you could ride at the time, and it was a tough track, and it was the steepest hill. And in all seriousness, this hill was steep. It was like you struggled to walk up it, let alone ride up it. And all of the 65s and 60s were crashing. And I got to the top and I fell off, and I was put back on it. And most people know push bikes, motorbikes. If your weight's in the wrong position, when you let the clutch out, front wheel's going to go up.
Right.
And the front wheel went up, the bike flipped, came back down, and landed on my leg. And I knew instantly I'd broke my leg, but I was in a pretty good position in the race, and my dad was keen for me to finish, so he kept standing me up, and I kept falling down, going, "I've broke my leg." He goes, "No, you ain't. I was like, "Oh, pick me up, fall over." I was like, in the end, he just picked me up, sat me on the bike, and got me going. And I just rode around with my leg out because I broke it. I thought, obviously, I have to keep my leg perfectly straight. It's broken. Got round, came off the track, and my granddad was there, and he grabbed me, and I was like, "I've broke my leg," and first aid came over, and off we went, and I broke my leg. But that's Where
did you finish in the end then, Paul?
I didn't. I pulled out of the race.
Pulled out, understandably.
I was convinced that I broke my leg, so I pulled out. But my dad was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I broke my leg." But the desire of dads for their kids to be champion, and that's a perfect example of it. We've all been through it. We've all been through it. Don't matter how old you are. There was another story. We were on the way to a team event. So in motocross, they come together every year as clubs, and their top riders are brought to one event where the clubs compete against each other. And we were on the way to one of those events, and it was like a carry-on film getting to this event. We left home. We were leaving home about an hour later than we should have. 10 miles down the road, the caravan got a puncture, so we pulled over. Less than 5 miles down the road after repairing that one, the other tyre went on the caravan. Managed to get that one repaired. We then were driving. My mum had decided to print out an AA route planner back in the day.
Oh yes, I remember those. Yeah.
Where you had this massive list of directions. She, for some strange reason, chose to avoid motorways and take the scenic route. And we were going down country lanes that were half the width of the caravan. And we eventually turned up and pulled into a lay-by about 3 o'clock in the morning, completely lost, only to wake up in the morning and find that we were parked outside the entrance to the track. And it rained all night, and there was a tractor towing people in to the field because it was that muddy. We were parked on top of the hill. I'd seen some friends, so I'd jumped out of the van and run off to get signed on, leaving my dad and sister to unhook the caravan, only to come back and find that the caravan was now at the bottom of the hill. because they'd unhooked it and just slid down the hill on the mud.
I was going to say, not due to a tractor.
Just catalogue of errors. And then luckily I rode okay, so I got a decent result. But yeah, there's silver linings. But yeah, I could go on all day with silly stories from my racing career.
Well, Paul, I've got two more questions for you then, just quickly. If somebody's been watching this and are interested to know more about ASG UK, where do they go?
We've made a conscious decision not to have a website. Everything, as you will know, Ian, is shifting to social media. So the best place to find us is on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then if you want to get hold of me directly, LinkedIn is probably your best bet. If you type in ASG UK or All Sports Group UK Limited into Google, you're going to get one of our social media platforms, or just Facebook search it, it will come up. That's the best bet. Either me or one of the team will be more than happy to help.
Fantastic. And finally, Paul, I know you're a busy man, so we'll let you go in a second. Very important question. We're running a tally on this as well. Okay. If you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be and why?
See, I've got to go. Now, I've got to go with Peter Kay. Now, only people of a certain age are going to remember the Peter Kay sketch.
I remember this.
He did an amazing sketch, and I think you need to share it onto my supercar just to back this up.
We'll find it.
What is the dominant biscuit? And I've got to stick with him and go, look, it's a hobnob.
A hobnob.
Yeah, they are the SAS of biscuit.
Yeah, we've had hobnob. He does mention Rich T's in it though, doesn't he? I'm sure
he does. Yeah, but they're one dips.
That's it, one dip. That's
one dip. You can't favour a one dip biscuit, can you? How can you eating a biscuit with a? I don't drink tea. I'm allergic to caffeine, but I do dunk biscuits. Normally in milk. So you can't be racing a biscuit to get it to your mouth before it drops into your drink. That's not enjoyable. So hobnob. And I have to say I'm a bit of a fan of custard creams as well.
Yeah, good choices. I like a hobnob and a custard cream.
Well, a bit of chocolate on the hobnob, not just a plain hobnob.
Yes, got
chocolate coated hobnob. Yeah.
Good man. Well, Paul, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll catch up. We'll probably speak very soon anyway. We speak quite
a lot going on still, as you know. We've got to stay busy.
We've got it. Lovely. Right. Thank you so much for your time, Paul. We'll speak soon.
No worries. Thank you. Very enjoyable. Cheers, guys.